Welcome everyone to this very special International Women's Day special with two of Penang's, how shall I say, most interesting women who wrote recipe books to preserve their culture and heritage. So welcome Pearly and welcome Z.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're
And
so
of course my
excited.
co-collaborator, Josephine. Sorry, Jo.
Yeah, we're so excited to be doing this together. We just interviewed two amazing ladies, Harriet and Sulin. And then now we're interviewing another Penang um, authorities, I would say, on Nyonya culture. So here we have Ziyin, who has written a book, Once Upon a Nyonya Tale. It's a beautiful children's fairy tale, but based on Penang culture. And she has also another book called Penang Passion, as well as a lot of other very interesting postcards and back series, which, yes, that's the one that Ziyin is showing us, Penang Passion. And along the
Thank you,
same
Joe.
note, yeah, thank you. Pearly has collaborated with her publisher to come up with two recipe books, A Nyonya Inheritance and Pearly's Nyonya Pantry. Yep, there it is. And Krista and I
Yeah.
have been to Pearly's private kitchen as well. So that's something we look forward to go again, hopefully soon. Yeah. So welcome,
Me
ladies.
too.
Sure,
Thank
sure.
you for having us.
Yeah, so let's start off by asking either of you. So, how did the idea for your books come about?
Pearl, you want to go first?
Zing, Zing, you go first.
All right. Okay, can. I mean, I like to talk about Penang Passion being my first book because I'm a Singaporean. When I first arrived on the soil of Penang, I was quite taken aback by the food culture of Penang. Um, People are, you know, talking about food from breakfast to lunch to dinner. It's truly something that I've not experienced uh, where I come from. Yeah. So it inspired me to actually look further than the superficial side of food and dig deep to see what inspired Penang to be so steeped in that culture. And so that gave birth to this book in collaboration with the Penang Chef Association. Pearly, your turn.
I want to just add to what Jing you was saying. I went to Butterworth because I was so bored. So I took a girlfriend of mine with me. And then as I drive there, she said, "What is there to eat? What is there to eat?" I say, okay. I take you to Kapala Batas. The food there is nice. Then I told her, okay, I'm going to take you to eat the moi there first. Yeah. Then we eat very little, okay? So keep our stomach for the wonton mee there. Because the wonton mee there is different. It is white in color. So it's very different. Said, never finish moi, you want to talk about wonton mee. Then I said, we go for all punya also. What? She said, you got stomach or not? I said, no, it's like that. This is only lunch. I don't know dinner yet what we are going to eat. So you see what you say is not wrong. When we eat breakfast, we talk about lunch. When we eat lunch, we talk about dinner. And then by the time dinner, what are we going to have for breakfast tomorrow? We are all like that. No, it never changed. Even me at this time of the lockdown, still look forward to go out and gai gai. Just to
Oh
eat.
yeah, yeah. It's very much in my
Yeah.
family culture as well. I live with a family of foodies, so
Mm.
I used to be the type who, uh, you know, eat to live, and now I'm joined by a group of people who live to eat. So
Yeah. Yeah, for me, years back, yeah, somewhere around 2009, um, my so-called publisher, she actually came to interview me for a column, and because we were the first few to do the cooking classes, and she wanted to know why I'm so fascinated. And because she is not from here, she kept on questioning me and keep on asking me. And in the end, she said, "Ali, I can write so many books with you." I said, "Huh?" She said, "Yeah, you have so many stories to tell." I say, "Yeah, if you eat food and there is no story, that's not food. You know, you today you are who you are, and how you are built up is because of the food you eat from childhood and from all the nurturing from your parents or grandparents who are there who pamper you like crazy. One part, grandparents pamper, the other part, your mother and father will have the policeman eye looking to make sure you're not over pampered, you know. And then for us, I was like from young in the kitchen all the time because my aunties, they will be doing laksa noodle, grinding the rice to make laksa noodles, and then we'll be doing tapai and things like that. Those were my childhood. So I thought that today it's so different, and if our pace of eating become quickie, so our slow food will be lost. Then it will be so sad. So that's why I said I better write all this down before I lose my memory. And I start to eat all this quickie food.
Pearly, I want to ask you, when you mention slow food, how do you define slow food?
Slow food, we still use our blanga, our clay pot, our woks, you know, our kuali, and then we slowly cook to get proper stock. The rich broth behind every soup is a proper stock, you know, things like that. And even stir fry vegetables, you know how to cut the garlic so that the food, your chai sim can be very simple, but with proper cutting of garlic, it smells heaven. Yeah, things like that. I fry vegetables without dried shrimps or prawns or anything, just garlic and soy sauce. Yeah, and I just
And
love it. Simple.
what was that process like for you? The book writing process.
It was horrible. For the book, writing the book,
Yeah.
writing the book was a kind of a closure to my childhood because it was, I term it as being like child abuse.
Why?
Yeah, because you are not to do this, not to do that. This is not the right way. That's not the right way. And then you get so scared doing it, whether you're going to get praise or whether you're going to get reprimanding. Yeah, it took a few years before you get better. But I promise you, I don't do that now. Though when I think back and when I teach, I do tell my guests about the memories that I have, and I said, Luku is a very common thing when we were young, you know. I will show them, this is what I get if I were to cut my yu cha too rough. And they will laugh and laugh and say, no, you have to eat what I cook because this is how I'm brought up. So you see, I have really got adapted to the new style that the youngsters have not practiced when they were young. I have to accept and teach them and say it would be nicer if you cut it this way, and then the texture will be, why do you cut it this way? What kind of texture do you expect from this? That's the kind of thing. Yeah, so I try to write it down in my book, but of course nothing beats learning.
So that's how long and how long did that process take you, writing the book, your recipe book?
The storytelling and tabulating and having editing and all, it took 5 months. Yeah, yeah. Some
that's quite fast.
Stories. Huh?
That's quite fast.
Yeah.
Fast?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
really?
Z is the one thing.
No, probably because she has.
I think for me, it
for
took me 2 years, to collaborate with the chefs, because I think, a lot of them has that agak-agak kind of method to cook their traditional recipes. So for me to get them to kind of quantify all the ingredients, it took them time to think about it, test their recipes, etc., etc. So and then together with the photography and and the graphic design. So it took us nearly 2 years to complete the book from conceptualization to completion.
And Z, what gave you the idea to create this book?
I guess I was just mesmerized by the food culture here, firstly. Secondly, as I said, my family is, you know, they're foodies. So, um, and I would like to include some of the food tales that I've personally come across in Penang, uh, as part of this book, as part of my inspirations for this book. Yeah. And then because I'm not a good cook, so I had to collaborate with um, the chefs of Penang to come up with, uh, what I consider food as well as food tales, which means it's recipes plus some of the food tales that I've come across in Penang. Yeah. So, all in all, it was a challenging project because it's my first book and it took me blood, sweat, and tears to complete.
I'm sure you're happy
Yeah,
with
so
the
it
result,
wasn't as
right?
easy as Pearly.
Or at least.
Oh,
Z, how
probably
about
because I just have to talk. And then she records it down, and then it's easier for her to just replay and
Type
write
it
the
out.
story. Yeah. So, and then moreover, um, I suppose she's quite accomplished writer, so it's quite easy for her. I think it's not more than 5 months, very
Mm.
fast because by we did it, and then maybe by 8 months we already published the books.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah.
wow. Z, maybe you can also share about your children's book, and both
Yes,
of you can
indeed.
share about the dream that you have for your books.
Mm, well, yeah, this is a book about uh, a fairy tale based on my understanding of the Nyonya culture. Uh, I'm not raised as a Nyonya, but my grandma was one. So, seeing how she dressed, the food she cooked, gave me the inspiration to write a fairy tale like this.
Mm,
Um, and so inside here, uh, you would see uh, Anya, visiting her grandma, and what grandma used to cook for her, and um, her days spent with her grandma. They're all, inspirations from my childhood days, plus a bit of imaginations because I'm a nature lover. So the book also delved into the, uh, the tropical garden paradise of Penang. So it gave me a combination of both Nyonya heritage as well as uh, the colorful tropical paradise of Penang, yeah, combined into one for me to, compile a story like this
I
to
think that's so
inspire the
beautiful.
young generation of today to both, learn from their culture as well as to experience the outdoor of Penang.
Wow. Krista, did you notice that all four of our authors so far have such a love for the Penang culture, and really imparting to the next generation is so key to why you do what you do? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would be your dream, Z, would you say, for your book and Pearly too?
Well, my dream
Since
is,
I've just spoken, Pearly
yeah.
can take the lead here.
My dream is for the youngsters or whoever buys the book to kind of and I'm glad it happened because some people who have bought the books have actually wrote to me to say they have tried 80 to 90% of the recipe. So
Wow.
I'm very glad that they have done it. And they're not from here. Some of them are as far as in England or in Australia, and they will be like still writing to me and say, oh, I tried this, especially this MCO. Everybody is like taking our curry capitan, put on pies, on tarts. It was so fun to see them putting our babi ponte or hong ba on pies. I say, yes, you can do it. Yeah, it's a very good combination for your pie. It's also like you're eating mince pie and all that. The savory one, you try, it's very nice. Then I teach them. Even the vegans love using the curry capitan sauce for their mushrooms and for their tempeh. And when they do simple things like that and they write to me, I feel so much happiness and satisfaction to say that they benefit from eating wholesome food. For the Nonyas, the very important thing is eating a lot of ulams. So I always advocate eating fresh, wholesome food. Like today, I still try not to make a lot of buy a lot of prepared sauce and all that. But I teach in the class how when you cook this sauce, how to preserve for yourself. Then you can use it for the next few months. Yeah, I do teach them how to do it. So in this case, we can be guaranteed of you're not putting any preservatives inside. So for me, giving that information and guiding and sharing with them with a lot of love, to me that is really important, because the way about food today is everything is to be cooked fast, everything can be bought from supermarket. I feel very sad. I'm very sad with that, because I do not know what is inside the bottle. Unless you know what is inside the bottle, then it's fine. If you don't know what's inside the bottle, I'm still not using any bottle. That I have no bottles at home. I maybe got soy sauce, oyster sauce, anything like that, but no
ready to
somehow
eat
to me,
sauces.
I
No ready to eat sauces, right?
no.
Like ready to open and just pop it into
Yeah.
the microwave.
Yeah, but during the MCO, a lot of people of my friends, close friends, ask me to make for them ready sauces. So I will tell them how to go about it. Yeah. So they are happy with it, because they say we don't know how to cook. So these sauces are so precious to us.
But you can tell them, Pearly, buy my book and start
I
whipping up your own recipes.
Yeah, some of them do their own sauces and then bring for me to taste. And then I said, not too bad. And because you can't expect much, yeah, because the galangal we have here and the galangal they buy from somewhere else is different.
Market.
Yeah, things like that.
Pearly, would you consider doing a range of sauces yourself? I'm sure a lot of people have asked you.
Hey, um, I don't mind friends asking, which I've been doing for the past 2 years. Friends asking, and then they get like five bottles, 10 boxes. But my condition is you have to finish this within a few months. No sending overseas without proper packing and all that, because there's no preservative. I cannot guarantee that. There is no molding and things like that, because I don't even use curry powders and all that. I use fresh chili, which costs sometimes 35 ringgit a kilo.
Wow.
So I'm willing to pay the price for the kind of sauces to eat, because this is my guarantee that it's everything is homemade and done from fresh. There's no MSG, nothing inside. No.
Yeah, I remember when we ate at your place, there are a lot of stories that you shared as well. I think that's all part of the whole thing, isn't it? Your recipes, the fellowship, the eating together, the flavors, as well as the stories. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Sometimes you guys make me cry too, because I can remember my childhood.
Oh, wow. Zine, how about your dream for your book?
I guess, we all at this stage in our life want to leave a legacy. And I hope that, by penning down my thoughts and inspirations, I can inspire more people to be interested in the culture of Penang and the nature that Penang has to offer, because this is my second home now. Literally my first home, sorry, because I've lived here more years than I had in Singapore. So I would say this is my first home now, and I love my adopted homeland with, its beaches, the greenery, um, and we're glad that my MCO is actually in Penang because, I could still, I could still go to the beach. I could still go up to all the lush greenery to or hike, um, to take my breather there. So I think Penang has a lot of beauty to offer. And then, of course, as a food paradise and steeped in heritage, it's so rich in every sense of the word. So it is my hope that, I could promote Penang and be able to put Penang on the map, and be one of those who could put Penang on the map, be a contributor in that sense.
We have so many potential Penang ambassadors.
Yes, yes,
But I really agree with you. During the last few weeks or so, I'm discovering like Emperor Villa, hiking, the Hickory at Penang Hill, and then I'm even taking book
exactly.
calls at the beach. And I thought, wow, we're so blessed in Penang, right? Okay, can I
Yes.
just ask, yeah, in one sentence, how has the journey transformed you, if it did, the journey of writing your book, Pearly or Z?
Well, I would say we have come a long way in terms as a human and how we contributed in our lifetime. And I'm glad that at this point of time, I'm still able to inspire a lot of people who still want to uh, really cook for themselves. And for me, it has really humbled me. I'm not as arrogant as people think I am as a Nyonya. I'm actually very receptive to how they cook. I can accept any kind of food that people cook out of the recipe book, and I will laugh about it, and they will tell me what they add in. So I'm so glad that as an author or somebody who contribute towards the writing of this Penang Nyonya food. I think a lot of people who are overseas Chinese and who has lived here for a long time and come back here, they value the true food that they have eaten. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm sure your students are so glad you don't knock them on the head, right?
No, they actually tell their children that if they don't want to go and cook, they will get knocked. I have a very young socialite here. Last year, even in the lockdown, she came and learned by herself. And her journey was very fun because she came for a 10 course cooking class every week. And she cooked, and then next week she went back, she tried on her family. And the next lesson she come and cook, she tried on her family. And before the third lesson, she went and cooked a birthday lunch for her husband.
Wow.
The lunch turned into dinner because she couldn't manage. But when she produced it at dinner, a 6-course meal, the family was so shocked because she has never cooked before. And they could say that it's very, very old taste.
Wow.
So they were very happy with her, yeah.
That must be so
And she lives in Ayah Itam, Ayah Itam people, they're old, the food is really old. So their mother-in-law and
Authentically
mothers
old,
were
right?
very authentic. So I was very proud of her. So whenever they tell me stories like that, it makes me so touched. It makes that I've touched so many people's heart with the food, and they are becoming, even at youngsters now, they're becoming very health conscious. They try to be very careful about what they eat. For me, this is very important.
Yeah. Wow, that's really meaningful, so fulfilling.
Yes, it is. Yeah, very satisfying.
Yeah, you're adding to the family dynamics and memories for the children as well, right?
Yeah.
Z? Yeah.
About this
How,
journey.
How has the book journey transformed you?
Yes, it has. I've always okay. This went back to something like 23 years ago when I first lost my mom, and I felt a sense of loss when she suddenly passed on, and I was desperately looking for things that she would have left behind for me to, share some memories with. Um, and it is my hope that by encapsulating some of these thoughts and tales, that eventually uh, I could share my memories of Penang with my children. And should they want to, eventually find memories of me as time goes by, I think hopefully all these will mean something to them. So I
Mm,
think for me, it's a very personal journey of trying to um, capture some of the memories that I have of Penang.
awesome. Beautiful.
And
Thank
for the
you.
both of you, right? What were the toughest parts about writing your book, or were there no tough parts at all? For Pearly, it seems like it's a quick and easy process, easier process than Z, because Z, took a longer time and all that. So were there any tough uh, areas, or toughest part lah, of writing a book? Pearly?
No, I find so joyful, except crying a few sessions.
Crying because of the stories, right? Not because of the recipes.
Yeah, crying because of the stories, because of the recipe makes me remember my dad, my
Mm,
aunt. Remember how I have to pick up branches of stick to start fire.
wow.
How I have to uh, how the pot is so black after cooking with firewood that I have to clean it with abu. Those kind of childhood are fun.
Z?
Um, as in the greatest challenge that
Or the
I have
toughest?
of compiling the book,
Yeah,
I think
the toughest part.
working, okay, first part, uh, talking about Penang Passion is the number of chefs that I have to collaborate with, and everybody has their own timing. So, working with everybody's timing was a little bit tough. And then the part about, presenting the book in the way that I feel would be most inspiring to my readers was also a bit of a deliberation. I started with this approach and that approach, and then, you know, so it took a bit of time for me to eventually crystallize how I should set forth my direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that the deliberation was the toughest part, I would say. Then with Once Upon a Nyonya Tale, I think the joyful part is I work with my team of graphic designers who who were very talented, and they could capture my memories and my inspirations very well in all the graphics. And we got so inspired by these graphic interpretations that we even came up with tote bags that capture all these colors and
The
flavors
visuals and
of
the
the
graphic, right?
nonya.
Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, in very vibrant colors, which are very much a part of the nonya culture.
It's
Yeah.
And
very
this
much
is
a part of you, Z.
sorry.
It's like you, your colors.
Well, I'm not sure, but maybe you can ask Wen where she got her inspiration of these nonya avatars. But she has her fair share of tales to tell you, my graphic designer. So these are the tote bags that are also inspired by the Nonya culture. And they're available at some of the attractions as well as at Precious Pages.
And of course, what advice would you give to budding authors who want to be like you?
Pearly, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, go for it. I would say whoever has a passion to write about their passion sincerely and do it warm-heartedly. Yeah, go for it. It's something that you can reach, and every journey, be it whatever it is a journey, is always a joyful one. We learn something from our journeys. Yeah,
I love those two words, sincerely and warm-heartedly.
yeah.
Right.
We should
And Z?
always do things with our heart and be very joyful about it. And if we can always channel this joy to people. I think it makes the world goes round. I just feel so blessed about this.
And Z? What
I
is your
think there's
advice?
a book. There's always a personal story about every person that can be told in a sincere, arresting, as well as heartwarming manner, and that these stories can serve to inspire others in ways that we cannot imagine. So, my encouragement to budding authors is that go for it. You know, uh, don't hold back. You know, the world is your oyster, and put your thoughts and your passion forward, and you never know where it's going to take you.
Yeah, thank you for that. Those insights, because writing a book may not be easy, but it's also something that is very fulfilling. And when your story
Exactly.
reaches out to the right people, and they come back to you and tell you that your book has helped them in one way or another, I think that is the satisfaction
Yeah,
that comes
it
from
can be
writing.
very, very rewarding. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess, we all want something uh, that we can, uh, we want to be helpful to people. And what better ways than, penning down your thoughts, and hopefully it will find the right audience. You never know.
I think Pearly has dropped off because of a battery issue.
Yeah, really want to say a big thank you, Zine and Pearly. I learned so much just listening to the passion that you all have to preserve the Nyonya culture, heritage, to pass on to the next generation. And it's not just about your books. I can see it's really capturing your history and what is really close to your heart. So we're really proud that in Penang we have women like you. Thank you.
Hi,
Thank
Pearly, you're
you.
back.
Sorry, the battery went out.
Okay, so the final one is, can you show your books again, the both of you, so that we can see your books?
We can take a
And
screenshot too, right?
yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
these two books won the Gourmet Award
Wow.
for 2016 and 2017.
Maybe you
Wonderful.
hold them higher.
Congratulations.
Hold them
Huh?
higher so I can see the titles. Yeah, so yeah. Yes.
Krista's going to do a screenshot. Oh, okay.
Yeah, then. Okay, and where can people get in touch with the both of you? Pearly, where can they find you, or how can they contact you?
Email or LinkedIn.
Email or social media? Where?
So
Social
back-
media, email, TripAdvisor.
So just type Pearly Kee, right?
Yes, just type Pearly Kee, it'll pop up.
What about you, Z? Where
For
can
me,
people
will
find
be
you?
the Penang Passion website or the Penang Passion Facebook. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you once more, ladies.
Thank you for having us,
Thank you
and
so
all the
much.
best for the rest of your interviews.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Want
Thank
to wish
you
all
so
of
much
you
for all of you.
happy International
Happy
Women's
International
Day
Women's
as
Day.
well.
Same to
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Pearly.